All right, we are back. Thank you so much for coming here this evening, whatever day or time you are watching this from. I am Marshawn Alanio. Listen, we have been talking about how to become a better dater and what that actually looks like over these 30 days. So we already on day 23 out of 30 days. We're talking about how to become a better dater, what that looks like, what we will not be doing and or accepting in 2025. No longer are we doing all of the things that we accepted in our 20s and in our 30s, or even 6 months ago. Okay. Because in 2025, we are learning how to set boundaries. We are looking in the mirror at all of the things that we have been doing wrong, our weak areas, our habits and behaviors that have not served us, and working through some of those things so you can show up and become a better dater. So you can show up and send your light and love out into the world. So you can show up and actually have something constructive to talk about. So you can show up and ask those all important questions that a lot of times we fail to ask, specifically in our 20s and 30s. As mature Black women, we are no longer waiting on somebody to come to us and quote unquote to choose us in a way where it makes us feel like we have to choose that person that says hello to us. We have to flirt and we have to go out on those dates with the people that we know mean us no good and or are not bringing anything to the table. So no longer are we doing that. We know that we are working on what we are worth. We are owning our worth. We are standing in our standards. We are setting those boundaries. We are asking for the things that we want and need. No longer are we becoming the sacrificial lambs in 2025 when it comes to dating. No longer are we just accepting any behaviors, any habits that are sent our way. So, yesterday we talked about what a healthy relationship looks like. And today we are talking about setting your intentions for your relationships. What vision do you have for your relationship? Now, you have to have a vision going into it, but then you must understand that there is going to be some changes, some shifts made when the two of you start to come together and talk about what you want your relationship, both of your relationship to actually look like together. So, but you need to have a vision, you need to have some standards, you need to have some intentions before you jump into a relationship, before you get out there, right? And so I started this 30-day series because I wanted to start talking about how you can show up and become better before you start dating once again. However, if you're already dating, right? If you're already in a relationship, I want you to go deeper into that relationship, go deeper into dating, and ask yourself some of the tougher questions, the questions that you have been allowing to fall by the wayside, the questions that maybe you are scared to investigate and scared to ask the deeper, tougher questions about. But we're not doing that in 2025. If you're not meant to be in this relationship, you want to know sooner than later. You don't want to know later. You don't want to invest a lot of time, energy, and effort into the relationship when it is not going anywhere. If it's not going anywhere, if you feel like it's going somewhere, if your gut is telling you that something is amiss about this or awry about this, listen to your gut. But today, again, we're talking about setting intentions for your relationship. So let's jump into this. Setting intentions. Setting intentions is about taking back control and defining what you truly deserve and desire. It's about showing up as your best version of yourself while also knowing that your needs, your boundaries, and your values are non negotiable. When you set your intentions for your relationship, you're creating a foundation of clarity. Ask yourself, what kind of love am I building? What values will anchor this connection? How do I want to feel in this partnership? So asking yourself these questions are going to give you even more clarity when you go out there and start dating. When you're putting yourself out there, when you're out on these dates, you're able to ask some intentional questions so you can figure out if this person is right for you for the long haul instead of, again, wasting a lot of time, energy, and effort. That's not what we're doing. So now, this isn't about creating a rigid checklist. That's not what we're doing. It's about giving your heart and energy a clear purpose. It's about saying, I deserve love that nurtures me. I deserve this love that nurtures me and challenges me and grows with me. And so when I'm working with somebody that's in a relationship or in a marriage, they usually have to redefine these things because maybe they have missed out on them. They have to ask themselves the tougher questions, right? What is my purpose in this relationship? Where do I stand? How are we putting this relationship together? How are we nurturing it and building it together? So here's why setting intentions actually matters, right? Before you date or even in a relationship, give okay, so it gives you clarity, right? As I mentioned, about your needs and your desires. It lets you know what you want and how to communicate it effectively. What you want and how to communicate it effectively. Another thing is that self alignment. You come in alignment with who you are. When you reflect on your inner work, it shows that you are ready to approach love from a place of confidence versus a place of desperation or even fear. Again, we're not doing that. You want to be confident when you get out there into these dating streets. You want to be confident. You don't want to show up in desperation or in fear. Again, as I mentioned, the first person that starts to sniff you a little bit, that says hello to you, that shows you a little bit of attention because maybe it's been a few weeks, a few months, or a few years since somebody has looked at you in that way or approached you in that way, right? You don't want to just give your time, energy, and effort just to anybody that is showing you a small bit of attention. You want to give it to the right person. And that is why you have to make sure that you are in alignment with yourself. You know what you are deserving. You already have set the intention. You already have come up with some standards. So you know all of these things before you step out the house, before you go out on that first date. So you can ask these intentional questions. Another thing is that, of course, setting the boundaries and enforcing the boundaries. It helps you to define what you will and will not accept. So who am I and why should you listen to me? Well, I'm Marshawn Alanio, and I'm a shift relationship strategist. I help professional Black women to show up differently in all of their relationships using tailored strategies depending on where they're at when they're coming to me, so they can so they can cultivate beautiful, healthy, loving relationships. And I say relationships because not only is the relationship with your partner important, the relationship before that is even more important, which is the relationship with yourself, the relationship with the person that you see in the mirror every single day. So I want you to have a healthy relationship with yourself, knowing your worth, knowing that you are deserving of love, knowing that you can reciprocate love, knowing that you're ready for love as well. So I nurture your relationship with yourself first. And then if you are in a dating relationship or in just a relationship engagements, even a marriage, we work on that relationship as well. But there is no sense in trying to work on the couple relationship if your relationship with yourself is out of alignment. If your relationship with yourself sucks, then you shouldn't even be thinking about dating. You have to get you in alignment before you think about entertaining somebody else and bringing them into your life. Because the truth of the matter is, if you're not ready for that person to come into your life, at some point, you're still going to run them away, push them away. Something is going to happen where you're still going to end up without him by your side. So you have to get you ready before you jump into another relationship. And this is why this is so important. Getting yourself in alignment, understanding what your values are, understanding the core of who you are, because it's going to help you in the long run. It's going to help you to alleviate a lot of the people that should not be in your life for the long haul. So now let's switch gears and talk about the power of having a vision for your relationship. Having a vision for your relationship is transformative. It is the compass that guides your decisions, your standards, and your emotional investments. A relationship vision allows you to dream bigger. It allows you to, it empowers you to say no to situations that don't align with your highest good. And it allows you to say yes to partnerships that honor your worth. Now, here's the key: a vision is not static. Once your partner steps into your world, that vision should evolve with the both of your dreams coming together. Obviously, you want to, nurture the relationship and get to a level where now you're talking about we instead of me. So when you start talking about we, now your vision for the relationship should evolve into one where the both of you are talking about what you want y'all relationship to look like and to be. what values are important to the both of y'all. And the unique essence will emerge with yours, creating something that is even more profound than you could have even imagined by yourself. So having a vision is very important by yourself, but then also when the other party comes into play, you want to be able to recognize that it needs to evolve to include the other party as well. So this is all very important for you to understand when you are trying to build a life with somebody. In the beginning, you must know what you want for yourself. But as you start to evolve and continue to move forward, now you need to um, put together both of your lives at some point so the both of you understand what's actually happening and how you're feeling about including this other person into your world and into your life. So there's that. Now, your vision. Let's talk about your vision and why your vision is importante. Your vision is important because here's the thing, it gives you direction for your love life. It helps you to recognize that a relationship that aligns with your purpose versus one that wastes your energy. All of this is important. Excuse me. Another thing that your vision does, it helps you to filter out the misalignments, the guys that should not be in your life. You can quickly spot and assess partners who aren't compatible with your goals. Again, the conversations that the two of you have, um, the questions that you are asking based off how he is answering. So all of those things play a part in the two of you coming together and how it's going to be great in your life and or not. Like, let's be real. It's either going to be good or it's not. And so you want it to be great. You don't want it to just be good. If you already have a good relationship, that's awesome, but you want a great one. You want an awesome relationship. So your vision also helps you become the co-creator of something bigger. A shared vision with your partner allows you to build a life that honors both your dreams and your values. So it's not just one person. Once the other person comes into your life, you need to make sure that after you have made an assessment of who they are and how they're showing up and you feel heard, you feel seen and all that stuff. Now you need to make an assessment to say, okay, we need to start having deeper conversations about us, what it looks like for us to be one, to be together. So what does that look like? And you want to make an informed decision in order to move it forward. So you want to shift from single vision, which is your own, into a we vision, which is the two of you together. Because sometimes, just sometimes, you may feel as though you must control every detail in order to protect yourself. But love, the healthy kind, requires a level of surrender. And when your partner brings their vision to the table, so you have your vision, now they're bringing their vision to the table. It's not about loving yourself. Excuse me, it's not about losing yourself, but about expanding your vision together. It's about expanding your vision together. So that's what we are doing. You want to be open to how their strengths and perspective complement your own. All right. So all of that is very important. All of that is very important. Um, Oh, let's see. Okay. And then why staying open to the shift is important. Why is that important? It is important because it helps you balance your independence with partnership. It helps you to balance your independence with partnership. You're still an individual, but you're inviting someone to bring their own dreams and strengths to the equation. Right. So you are who you are, all of your strengths and everything, but now you're inviting somebody else to come into your life and be a part of your world. It also leaves room for growth. As you and your partner grow individually as well as together, your vision may shift. So you have to be open to this. And this is not a loss of control, but an evolution of love. This is a part of how love is evolving between the two of you. Another thing that staying open to the shift does is a reminder to embrace vulnerability. It's okay not to have all the answers. None of us have all the answers, and that is okay. You have to be open to the new possibilities that your partner's perspective is for the better good of the relationship, and not just something that he's throwing out there, saying some crazy stuff, wants to implement some crazy things. This should all be about growing together, growing together. Okay. Sorry about this. Just remember that vulnerability is not a weakness. It is absolutely a strength. It is something that you should be leaning into. It is something that you should embrace. And I absolutely, absolutely tell my clients all the time, if you're not embracing where you're at, you're going to be in a world of trouble. You have to embrace where you're at. You do. You have to you have to understand that being a part of a partnership is just that. It is a partnership. It is understanding that both of you are trying to come together and build something beautiful, that the both of you are leaning into one another, that the both of you are building trust with one another, that the both of you want the relationship to stand the test of time, to be able to go the distance, and understanding that, okay, I feel seen, I feel heard. He's also saying the exact same thing. He feels seen, he feels heard. And all of this stuff is helping the both of you to get to the next level. See, most people don't understand. You can if you're with the right person, the both of you can build something so much more beautiful than you could if you were doing it all alone. The resources are now double, can take you there faster. If the two of you are together in a beautiful relationship because you want it to work, you're there because you want to be there, not because it's out of obligation, then the two of you together can build a beautiful life with one another. This is why you need to have intentions. Go into it with an intention. This is why you should have a vision for your relationship before you start dating. Again, this is just helping to keep you in alignment, to keep you on track. So when the riffraff comes, you can just block them real quick. You don't have to entertain the riffraff. You can say, okay, this was real good, or this is not what I want at all. And be able to own that you don't want that. Be able to walk away that much faster without feeling obligated to entertain because nobody else has come your way. This is why a vision is so important before you start dating. It does not mean that your vision will be the only thing that pushes the relation or catapults the relationship forward. It's not. It's just giving you a clear path. So when you go out there and start dating, now you're like, okay, I felt really great in his presence. The energy was great. The conversation was great. Even when there were silent moments, I didn't feel awkward. We were able to converse and then kind of step back. I was able to feel like I can ask him a question. I'm able to answer it. He was reciprocal. We were doing the whole ping pong dance when it comes to dating and asking questions, that whole getting to know process. But all of you having a vision for yourself, you setting these intentions, is why you have to do this before you go out into the relationship. Before you go out on the very first date. You already have to know what you want. Do you even want a long-term relationship, or are you in the play mode? It's okay to be in play mode. Everybody's not in relationship mode, but you just have to know what you want before you go out there. Being able to ask the deeper questions, especially if you're ready for something more. You're tired of playing the games. It's okay to have questions. What I like to tell my clients is, don't go out there and start checking off every single question because you have to ask all these questions. What you want to do is no more than 3 deep questions or thought-provoking questions on every single date, just so you can continue to get to know this person, so you can continue to assess and reflect once you go away. Where most people mess up at is they think that they should stay out on a date for hours and hours and hours, first date, not realizing that they are killing the momentum. It feels great, like, oh my gosh, I was out on a date for 6 hours. That sounds great to say, but you don't realize when you're out there for those 6 hours that as fast as this thing started is as fast as this candle will burn out. because somebody is going to get scared that they're in an unintentional relationship. You want to slow things down and be able to assess what's actually happening. You want to be able to assess, okay, I watched him when we were out on a date and how he was with the waiter or waitress. I watched him. Did he walk on the opposite? Did he walk on the side of the sidewalk where the traffic was coming? Or was he okay with me being over there? If you're into chivalry, right? Did he pull out your chair? Did he open up your door? Did he let you walk first? Like some of those things make they really do matter. Not some of them, all of them do matter, especially if you're into chivalry and you're like, okay, is chivalry dead? These are some of the things that if they matter to you, if this is a part of your core, then you want to pay attention if this is happening when you're out there on the date, right? Another thing that you want to pay attention to is, okay, saying, I want to share something about me just to see if he is open. I want to ask the deeper questions. Again, no more than three. Every single date you go on, no more than three. Why no more than three? Because again, you don't want to make it seem like you have a laundry list of questions or that you are interviewing the other person. That's not what you want to do. But you do want to gather data, gather information. So when you walk away, so when the endorphins have settled down, now you can say, okay, all right, I am able to assess how I felt about being out in public with him, right? Leaning in, or was I leaning out? Did I feel like he was asking me questions about me to really get to know me? Or was it superficial and he only wanted to talk about how great I looked and what body part made him feel whatever type of way and what else he wanted to do to me? At this point in our lives, we're no longer in our 20s and 30s. That was cute back then. And maybe it wasn't even cute then, but maybe you entertained it then. You want to go deeper. At this point, there have been so many things that happen in your life, so many life experiences, so much in your career. You may have a child or children. You may have been married and even divorced at this point, and you're trying to jump back out here. And you're really trying to you're trying to set yourself up for a win, knowing that there are going to be some tests that come your way. Absolutely going to be some tests come your way, and you have to be ready for them. Are you ready for the tests that are going to show up? Are you ready to turn your back and walk away? Or do you feel like you have to entertain because nobody else is going to approach me? Nobody else is going to approach me. So if they don't approach me, then I got to entertain him. You don't want to feel like that. You want to be confident enough to know that even if nobody approaches you for the next 3, 4, 7, 10 months, that you're going to be okay. You are more stronger than you realize. There is a knowing up here. You know when something is not right. You may not be able to pinpoint what's actually happening, but you know when something is not right. So you have to be open and ready for the shifts that are going to occur. You have to be ready for your vision, the vision that you have for your life, the vision that you have for when a person comes in and adds to your life. What is your vision? Again, it's not going to stay your vision because now you're adding another person into your life. And now it'll become a we vision versus a me vision. It will no longer be your vision or an I vision. It'll be a we vision because the two of you are coming together to talk about what your life is going to look like for the long haul. Again, if it makes it to this stage. But the point is the vision, it helps you stay in alignment and clarifies what you want out of your life. Setting yourself up for a win is how you become better. Learning from your past mistakes. What lessons did you learn? So when you go into your next relationship, when you get out there and start dating again, the things that held you back will not be the exact same things that hold you back. You want to feel like you have grown and matured when it comes to you being emotionally available, being able to talk about your spirituality, whatever that looks like, being able to talk about, I love the skin that I'm in, no matter what size you are, being able to love all of you, flaws and all, bringing every part of you to the table. The mask that you wear for the world, you want to be able to take that off when you add somebody to your life, and they should be able to let down their guard as well when you are added to their life. all of this matters when you're out there dating. All of it matters. So just thinking about the 3 questions that you want to ask on every single date, so you are clear about what it is that you want to ask, but then also understanding that you want to keep the fun in there. Don't let the fun die because you're out there on a date, because you're thinking, I want to be in a relationship. Don't let the fun die. Be present in the moment, but still ask the questions that need to be asked. So thank you for being here. That's all I have to say today, because it matters. Everything matters. It really does matter on how you're showing up and if you're going to be better in 2025 when it comes to dating. Are you ready to date? Have you asked yourself the really tough questions about dating and what that looks like? And have you dealt with some of your emotional baggage? And are you working through it currently or not? Because believe it or not, you may think that that stuff has gone, but as soon as you entertain somebody else, as soon as you say, yes, I want to be your girlfriend, then guess what? All of that crap that you didn't really deal with is going to be right there waiting for you. It's going to show up. He's going to do something. He's going to say something that's going to trigger you. And all of a sudden, your toxic traits are going to show up. Whatever your toxic traits are, they are going to show up. So you want to be ready before you go out on these dates. I love you guys, and there's nothing that you can do about it. Tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow's another day. It's day 24. So I will see y'all then. All right. Have a great night. Bye.